I ate meat for 30 days after being a vegan for 8 years, and this is how I felt, and it was very unexpected. But when I started doing the carnivore diet 2 years ago, it wasn't for the trends, it wasn't for the aesthetics, it wasn't because I thought it's the best diet out there. I did it specifically for an issue I had in my body that was going on for so long, which is my gut issues. I was dealing with chronic digestive issues, bloating, gas, stomach issues, feeling tired, not sleeping well, waking up in the middle of the night, sweaty. Like, I just did not feel good. I didn't have a lot of energy. I felt like I had a foggy brain. I didn't have good memory. When I had conversations with people, I couldn't concentrate. I forgot what happened an hour ago, and that was just not good. And by the way, I keep forgetting to say this, but I was getting sick every 2 months for a good year because I thought, I was doing the carnivore diet too incorrectly. I was eating too much carbs and too much animal fat, and it just made my stomach go crazy. And I just wasn't eating the right way. Even though I was eating organic, healthy foods, I wasn't eating the right way for me, for the issues I had in my own body, which were the gut issues. And it was to the point, guys, where it felt like a guessing game. I didn't know what to do. I thought I was doing all the right things. I thought being a plant-based eater was the best. It's why I did it for 8 years. And thinking that if I kept going, the symptoms would go away. And it didn't. It got worse and worse and worse. And despite my blood tests being perfect, almost perfect, my heme iron was low. But besides that, everything was great. My body, though, felt bad. I had low energy, like I said, fatigue, didn't feel good. And that was all stemming from my gut. But I didn't know what to do. I'm like, what diet works? Because this one's not working for me. I'm still having issues and now it's getting worse. What do I do? So I had a friend, and he was also my nutrition coach, my health coach, my business coach, a lot of things for me at the time. He was my mentor. And he was 9 years a vegan. And he decided to eat meat. And when I told him about my own stuff going on in my body, he's like, I don't want to tell you this, but I ate a steak the other day. And I was shocked. I was like, what? Because, he and I were in this, like, we're vegans, we're going to do this right, plant-based eaters, like, this is the best way to do. And now he's eating steak after 9 years of being vegan. I'm like, you know what? He says he feels good. I trust his judgment. He knows the studies. Like, this could be a way out for me. And he said to try it and see how I felt because he really believed my symptoms could be cured by the carnivore diet. So I decided to eat that steak for the first time, and it was amazing. And I'm like, I'm never going back. Never going back. I'm going to start eating meat again, and a lot of meat. So like I said earlier in the video, I didn't do the carnivore diet correctly. I kind of just did it just on a whim and didn't research really what it was and what are the parameters of being a carnivore, which is basically super high fat, very, very low carb, 30 grams of sugar or less. And I was not doing that. Over a year, I decided, okay, let me just do this correctly because clearly I'm not helping myself by doing the carb and the animal fat. So I chose the animal fat and started to I started to eat correctly and did the carnivore diet correctly. And this is what happened the first week of being a carnivore. It was actually my digestion, which is good, right? I started to feel less bloated after my meals. Not completely perfect, but it was less bloated. My stomach wasn't as big anymore. I didn't look pregnant. And if you can't tell, I'm super skinny. And so when I was very bloated, I looked pregnant. Heck no. And I didn't have to deal with a constant heavy stomach. After you eat a lot, you feel like you feel heavy. But sometimes I wouldn't even eat a lot and I would feel heavy. So I didn't have to deal with that anymore. My body was adjusting. I did have moments of feeling off because remember, I was plant-based for 8 years and I was doing high carb, low fat. Now I'm transitioning to high fat, low carb. So my body, the fuel it was using was from sugar to now animal fat. My body was adjusting. And it took time. Sometimes it felt like, I don't feel good. Sometimes I felt okay, and sometimes I felt great. But now after doing it for so long, I just feel amazing because I stuck through it. And people don't realize when you do the carnivore diet, you're detoxifying. So sometimes, actually most of the time, you're not supposed to feel amazing when you're detoxifying your body. So me not having the discomfort in my stomach anymore was a win for me. Week 2, Food stopped controlling my thoughts. So this is where things got interesting. I wasn't thinking about what I was gonna eat, about anything in my mind about food as much as before. I could think about other stuff. And before this, I would have to snack all the time because, you know, being plant-based in a high sugar, low fat diet, you don't get full for a very long time, let's just say. When you're carnivore, you can eat a piece of meat and you're full for like 4 or 5 hours. You know what I mean? But with sugar, it's stimulating your metabolism, wanting to eat more. So after 2 hours of, you know, even eating pasta, I'm like hungry. I was constantly hungry, you guys. I had to have snacks. My moods were up and down because of the sugar spikes and lows. But after doing the carnivore diet on the second week, my cravings started to go down, the sugar cravings. I wasn't getting those intense cravings like before. My body was finally getting used to it. And even though it was week 2, I felt like, okay, I could actually go and follow through with this for maybe another month. And then it turned into 2, 3 months, 4 months. But anyway, that's how I felt on the second week of being the carnivore diet. My energy was stable. I didn't have the sugar spikes anymore because I wasn't eating a lot of sugar. You know, I was basically running on fat, animal fat. So my moods were good. They were stable. My energy was stable. I felt good. I felt way better. I didn't feel crappy. I didn't have those crashes anymore. And that's a plus for me. Number 3, my body felt lighter than what I would expect. I didn't think I would feel light. I thought, because I've been vegan or was vegan for 8 years consistently, I thought it was normal to feel bloated after eating a lot. I thought it was normal to feel slow, lethargic after eating, you know, a good amount of food. I thought it was just normal. But when I ate a piece of meat, which is, you know, I'll eat like 8 ounces of meat in one meal or even 10 ounces. And I'm like, wow, I mean, I feel really satiated. I feel full, but I don't feel like super big. I don't feel like it's weighing me down. I feel light, which is great, right? So I think people underestimate how much meat just makes you feel light and bouncy and doesn't make you feel down and lethargic like other foods do. Week number 4. The biggest shift wasn't physical. It was mental. This is what surprised me the most. It wasn't just my body feeling different, my physical body, it was also in my mind, my mental space. I felt less foggy, which meant like I didn't have thoughts that were scattered. It meant that I could concentrate. It meant that I didn't have to deal with forgetfulness, a bad memory anymore. I wasn't obsessing over food choices anymore and constantly thinking about, what am I gonna eat next? Am I gonna get bloated after this food? Blah, 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 blah. I can actually eat simpler and trust that the food that I'm eating now will help me heal my gut and not have those negative symptoms anymore. And it did. And I was like, okay, I feel safe in this diet. And so my mind felt safe and at peace. It's no longer chaotic. It's no longer running around with like scattered thoughts anymore. I feel confident. But let me be honest, you guys, it wasn't perfect. It's only 30 days. But even yet with 30 days, even though it didn't cure every little thing in my body, even the symptoms of like sugar cravings was still there. Sometimes having a foggy brain was still there, but it reduced those symptoms by a lot, okay? And I'm not saying like do this in 30 days and your gut's gonna be healed, but it's a jump start to healing, that's for sure. Some digestion changes over time. It could be depending on your history, depending on mine, right? It took me a good year of doing the carnivore diet to really heal my gut completely. And it could be maybe a month for you, maybe it could be 3 months, 4 months, but you have to commit yourself for a long period of time, at least a month, guys, to see how the carnivore diet can really heal your gut. Because trust me, like these 3 things are big wins for me. Like these 3 things can remove some of the gut issues already going on in your body. For me, what changed was that I no longer feel as bloated anymore when I eat a meal. Not planning my entire day around food because I was worried about what I was gonna eat and how it was gonna affect my body. Not constantly dealing with gas or discomfort, and not feeling mentally imprisoned by all the foods that I had to avoid, and not feeling mentally drained because of the lifestyle I had in regards to my food and my gut issues. And honestly, that was the biggest shift for me. Okay, so your body needs to get used to being on the animal fat diet, having that as its main fuel source, not sugar anymore. And for me, if you have a long enough period of time, even if it's 2 weeks, to really commit eating only grass-fed meat, grass-fed butter, grass-fed tallow, right? Those three things, animal fats and animal meat, you can have your body recalibrate itself, your mind recalibrate itself to want fat. I hope this helped you guys. If you're someone who is still struggling to heal their gut and you don't know what to do, or if you are doing the carnivore diet and you still don't know why it's not working, I can help you. I created specifically for you 7 things that you are doing right now that is not helping your gut, and this can really jumpstart your healing for your gut, okay? Check out the video down below and have an amazing day. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.